Oh, hey guys. Hey. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I was just getting some of my notes ready. Hello, darlings. You've got Daniella here, and I would love to welcome you to another presentation, another session, another episode of Wisdom Wednesdays, where I join you here at Redesign Your Life Forever to share with you a tool, a tidbit, a tip, or just a thinker to help you think and dive deep into your life, exploring your spiritual path and your personal growth. So tonight I'm going to be sharing with you a fun little thinker for you. This is something that has been coming up an awful lot recently. It's been coming up for me personally. It's been coming up for a lot of my clients. It's been coming up for a lot of you here in the group. And whether or not you say it outright, it has been something I definitely have been noticing that, excuse me, frog in my throat. Something I've definitely been noticing is on the rise. So tonight I want to share with you unchaining yourself from your story. The importance of unchaining yourself from your story. The importance of thinking about how you can liberate yourself from your limiting beliefs by simply altering the story that you believe about yourself. Okay? So, what I see so often, and of course this is something that we all fall into because it really just is more or less a function of the times, a function of our third density reality, a function of our society, particularly in the Western world, is that, let's just take it for this way. Anytime you meet somebody new, okay, anytime you meet somebody new and they say, hey, who are you? You go, oh, hi, I'm Daniella. I'm a life coach. Or hi, I'm Amy. I'm a wife and a mother. Or hi, I'm Sara. Or Joe. Or Sherry. Or and I work for so and so, or I do this for a living, or. What is the first thing that comes out of your mouth when someone asks you to describe who you are? Chances are it's not going to be, oh, well, I'm a multidimensional being, I'm really we're all multidimensional beings, we're all part of the whole here, and so I'm just, an arm of the divine, just coming here to hang out in physical form. You never get that answer. Right? But what I discover is, and I've discovered this in my own life, I've discovered this with my clients, is that we have, at this point in time, and of course all across history, but it's particularly noticeable at this point in time as we're all waking up here, that people are over-identifying with a role. So much so that it takes control of every other aspect in their life. Now, I'm going to use the biggest example there is to use, and I'm sure I'm going to get some flack for it. I may not be super popular for it. So what's new? Right? But the number one thing I hear, this is gonna trigger some of you, so get ready. The number one thing I hear is, I can't do that because I'm a mother. I can't do that because I'm a wife. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm a wife and a mother of 3 kids. That's your story. That's your story. Because by telling people that you are a wife and a mother of 3 kids, granted though it may be true, this is how you are describing yourself to other people. This is how you are describing what makes you feel worthy and have value, is being a wife and a mother. Now granted, I know many beautiful homemakers, and I know this is an old school term, but I know many beautiful stay-at-home mothers. I know many beautiful single mothers, stay-at-home dads. I know somebody that probably, from every walk of life on that kind of spectrum. There is a difference. between the people that identify solely as a parent, particularly a mother, and someone who that is part of their identity, but it's not the whole entire shebang. Try this one on for size, because I feel like I've got some of you, but I feel like a couple of you back there are still kind of going, huh? Get this. Is that the example of... Okay, my mom used to run this one by me all the time, and see if you resonate with this, okay? My mom used to tell me this great thing. You know, of course, we go out, we're teenagers, we're like, I want to be out past curfew, right? Okay, maybe some of your own kids, maybe you're going through this with some of your own kids right now, right? You remember being that rebellious teenager, maybe. I do. And she would say, you know, because I would say, oh, Mom, you don't have to worry, because, you know, I'm going to be there with so-and-so, and yada, 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 and, you know, it's like, it's okay that I'm out past curfew, and you don't have to worry, right? She would say this to me. She would say, I can't not worry. How did she put it? I can't not worry. I'm always going to be your mother, and that's just the way I am. Do you know the woman has worried herself into full-blown arthritis, and all kinds of things nowadays? Literally, the woman is worrying herself to death at this point. Granted, she is getting better, but I can't help it. I'm always going to be your mother, and there's nothing I can do about it. Think how limiting and debilitating that kind of mindset is. I'm not in control of my emotions. I am latched to a title that is only one part of one aspect of who I am as a human being. And I feel like I'm unable to ever change that. That's what those three things say to me. So when anytime anybody brings these things up in sessions, when clients are like, oh, well, Daniella, I just can't do that because yada, yada, yada. You know, like I'm blanking on a really good example right now. But when you come up with these things, you're basically shooting yourself in the foot. Because you are now limiting yourself to a description of yourself that is really not even the beginning of a portion of the whole, of the totality of what you really are. You are limiting yourself so drastically by only using these very few ways to describe yourself. And it comes down to not only a choice of words, because of course, like I said in the beginning, everybody gets pulled into this. I get pulled into this, right? Because everywhere you go, you meet somebody new and they say, oh, who are you? Hi, I'm so-and-so, and I do da-da-da-da. Who are you? What do we always answer with? Our name, our job title, our job description. That can include being a mother, or a father, or caregiver in some like, it is the story that we have latched onto. I'll give you another example. I know so many people that are battling, and this is a topic that I brought up in a whole nother session as to another Wisdom Wednesdays a couple of weeks ago, as to whether you're actually battling your demons or not, your inner demons and external demons, and that's a great one if you haven't caught that. But that are battling their demons having to do with, say, like marijuana use and alcohol, or addicted to sex, or addicted to watching the TV, or whatever. They say to me, oh, I can't fix myself. I'm just this way. Or someone else has told me I'm just this way. Since when have you not been able to decide who and what you are? You're a grown adult. You can decide whether or not you're an alcoholic. You can decide whether or not you're a pothead. You can decide whether or not you want to make your job your only description of yourself as a human being. Crazy, right? So anytime anybody asks you, who are you? How do you answer? Think about that. Do some journaling on that, because you will be extremely surprised by how many limiting beliefs you find in just your description of yourself. And that can go as far down as it goes, actually, when I think about it just now. It can go down as far as it goes, because you can be limiting yourself to a certain set of experiences based off of the story that you're telling yourself of the role that you have to fulfill. Like, for instance, with me, it used to be, hi, I'm Daniella, I'm an artist. What does that mean? I'm creative. I starve to death. I'm always scrounging for money. I'm like a gypsy lifestyle, yada, 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 yada. Okay. Like all of these subliminal things that go along with say, hi, I'm an artist. That's all stuff I had to clear. Energetic clear. That's all stuff that you can clear too. So again, for me, it was like, hi, I'm Daniella, I'm an artist. Or, hi, I'm Daniella, I'm a costume designer. Or, hi, I'm Daniella, I work for Universal Studios. Or, I work for this place, or I work for that place, or whatever. I have just segregated my own self to one particular role. And I'm describing it to myself. Because what do? We go with the easiest, quickest answer. This is something that I could go on forever and ever and tangent, you know me. But this is something I really share with my students, is that not only what are you identifying yourself as, but what are you limiting yourself to by identifying yourself as that? So how often do you actually change what you say about yourself to people? Like, hi, I'm Daniella. I work with people, coaching them to live a better life. Or, hi, I'm Daniella. I work part-time in a garden. How often do you change your answer? Or, how often do you give a full answer? And this is what's going back to the homework. Sorry, I lost my track for a second. The homework that I give my students all the time is finding these masks and finding these things and these ways that we veil ourselves, our true selves, by putting on these layers, these masks of different roles. Is to go around, and when someone says, hi, how are you? You read into it. Because just like with hi, how are you, people don't actually expect you to tell them how your day is. They don't expect you to care how their day is. It's just a pleasantry. What if it was more than a pleasantry? What if describing yourself was more than just what you can spit out in 5 seconds to keep that person's attention? It's a thinker. These are thoughts. These are thoughts that I challenge my students to think about themselves all the time. These are thoughts that I challenge myself to remind myself to go back in about myself, all my own shit, constantly still doing energy work. Like I showed you guys the picture of my cat sitting all of a sudden just plonk himself down in my lap while I was like, I'm in the middle of doing something here, cat. Always doing this stuff. It takes reassessment. So take this as a moment for reassessment for you and say, hey, how do I describe myself? Do I describe myself as just a mother? Do I describe myself as just a wife? Do I describe myself as somebody's brother or somebody's daughter? I used to have to do that all the time because my dad was in the aviation business. He used to work for Gulfstream Aerospace. So it'd be like, oh, hi, I'm Danny Langford's daughter. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, I know your dad. We all do it. But think about how you're subliminally training yourself to stay within those limits by constantly repeating the role, constantly reaffirming to yourself that you can't break that role. Like with my mom, where she says, I'll always be your mother. I can't change the way I am. She perfectly well could have decided to not worry. And yes, those of you who are mothers will say, but you're not a mother yet, so you don't get it. And I'm like, okay, understood on that level. However, I have many, 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 many friends who are mothers already. And they come to me with all of their junk. Because I'm the counselor. Right? You probably are for your group of friends too. Because that's just how we energetically seem to be sometimes, those of us, right? They don't worry. Thanks, April. April says great ideas. They don't worry because worrying, get this one's going to blow your brains out. And then I'm going to share with you some stuff that's coming up that I'm really excited with, and I'm going to leave you for now. They don't worry because they know that they have instilled in their children the best training that's the most balanced and the most understanding and the most, I wouldn't say inclusive, but like morally positive that they can. As in, don't put yourself in danger, don't do stupid shit, yada, 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 yada. Don't get caught with drugs, don't DUI, don't be mean to women, yada, yada. Like moral compass kind of stuff, right? Treat each other with respect, don't leave anybody drunk, at the bar. Those kinds of things, right? I know so many of my friends that do not worry about their grown-ass children. Well, I say grown-ass, they're like getting to be teenagers now, so they're kind of going, I know, it's okay. It's okay. We've taught them well, it's okay. But that's the thing. Worry means that you don't trust yourself as a parent. Did I just say that? Really? I can't tell you how many clients this has come across. Can't tell you how many times I've had to share this with my friends and remind them. You've raised your kids well. I've seen this from third person perspective. You've raised your kids well enough to where they can navigate the world pretty much on their own. Being worried, aligning yourself with the fear, that means that you have an internal fear that you're not enough, that you haven't done enough, that you haven't been a good parent. That means that there's work for you to do on you. Maybe not so much the kid. Thoughts? Point being, so much of the time we are limiting ourselves because of the role that we feel like we are having to fit ourselves into as a wife, as a mother, as a businesswoman, as a free spirit, even. There's even weird backwards catch-22 sort of, damned if you do, damned if you don't, about being a free spirit, isn't there? About being the black sheep in the family. There's expectations about what that means. April says, always work on my working in circles. Yes. Yes. Speaking of circles, I'm glad you brought it up, April. That is a perfect segue. Thank you. Thank you, darling. So, I have been racking my brain, and I'm going to reach over here and get my face in your face because I want to pull up my notes. So, point being, really quick, we're going to close this out. Point being is that take a look at the roles that you are aligning yourself with, the major roles in your life. See where you are aligning yourself. See where you are putting yourself in a box. And journal about this. This is actually one of the most useful things to actually journal about. Go to the dollar store, get like a cheapy little, hold on, let me grab mine. There we go. Cheapy little thing. Look. Actually, mine had some water drop on it, and I just left it because I thought it was pretty. And journal about it. And just sit down for 5 seconds and just be like, okay, what are the roles that I identify by? Okay, what could I be possibly limiting? How could I possibly be limiting myself by only adhering to those roles? Because it's not about not being a mother. Don't get me wrong. Like, one of the hugest pet peeves I have on this planet is women who give birth to babies and then don't take care of them. Don't get me started. Now, granted, there are some circumstances from which you know, like terrible circumstances in which things you cannot avoid. However, y'all know what I'm talking about. So it's not about not being a mother. It's not about not being the best wife you can be or the best partner you can be. It's not about not being that awesome ball-busting businesswoman, okay? It's not about not being that. It's about realizing where you're aligning yourself only. Because you are such a multifaceted, multidimensional being that you can be as many different kinds of things as you want. For instance, if I were to only describe myself as a life coach, as a soul coach, that's all people would get. They would get a particular image of me, and that's it. But I could also tell them that I was on the honor roll all through college. I could also tell them I have a degree, I'm a degreed artist. I could also tell them that I'm a belly dancer. I could also tell them I'm a horseback rider and I know how to ride dressage. I could also, I am also a accomplished seamstress. I am also this. I am also that. I am also a candle maker. I am also an underwater basket weaver. I am also a gardener. I am all of these things, but not one single one of them by themselves defines me in its totality. So are you aligning yourself with one thing? I am an artist. I am a mother. That's it. Because if you are, you may discover that you are limiting yourself in ways that is unnecessary. Because you can be the mother, but you can also be who you really are in addition to. You can add it to your list of things that you can do and can be, but you don't have to be that in every single moment. You don't have to limit yourself to that every single moment. And I find that it's hard for people to let go of that only because we've spent so long being that one identification, being the mother, being the artist, being whatever. We've spent so long being that it's terrifying to trek out into the unknown and rediscover what else we also are. So I get that. I get that it can be hellaciously scary to re-step back out into the unknown and start to experiment again with who you are and what you are and what you like and what you don't like and what you call bullshit on and what you don't. I know that can be really scary. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this, because it was really scary for me. It still is really scary for me anytime I go to make an up level in my life. I go through this exact same thing too. But that's why I created this here, to offer the support, to offer the tools and the resources for people, because I wished I had had myself 10 years ago. So I'm offering me to you now. And that's that. So check yourself before you wreck yourself and see where you are aligning in your roles and using that as the buffer of you, using that as the only mask of what you are. Because that is where you're going to find a lot of your limiting beliefs, a lot of your limiting shoulds that are holding you back from doing the kinds of things that you want to do that are fun, that are exciting, that are new. They will break you, be able to start to break you out of those patterns, because once you can identify them, you're like, there it is. I see it. I see it. I can do something about it now. And that's part of what we do in my sessions anyway. Is just doing the digging and going, I see it now. There it is. Now we can do something about it. Which I love. Woo! Getting my alarm to have my next session coming up soon. So let me get off the horn with you, but I did want to bring that back in, tie that back in with what I was going to say, with what April brought up. She says working in circles is what she said, which may or may not be a typo, but it did remind me, though, that I wanted to share these couple of things with you that I am super excited. I'm super excited that I've been working on for you guys. So I have been searching for some time for the answer that allows me to serve you and serve more of you at any stage in your journey. And I've heard from so many of you have been reaching out to me, and I am so honored and so blessed and love it, and just keep it coming. I love it when you guys chat with me and contact me. I've heard from so many of you that a lot of the big mentorships and the big classes and big programs and stuff, as much as you want to do them, they're often out of reach currently for where you are, which is totally understandable. So that is exactly why I have been racking my brain to put this together in conjunction with some of the wonderful suggestions that I got from you all a few days ago when I put out that thing for suggestions in the group for stuff that you may want to learn. I am going to be creating space for a summer session women's circle. It's going to be completely virtual. It's all going to be online, and it's going to be absolutely fabulous. I really can't wait. So I'm going to be bridging the gap between the direction, the inspiration, and something that's affordable, something that's attainable, something that's easy to digest, and something that brings us women in particular, and anybody who identifies as female for that matter, together in community. Because for so long, I'm going to move my notes around here. For so long, we in particular, and women, we have been really divided. We have been really divided by this divide and conquer mentality, by this competition mentality. I myself have gotten sucked into that women versus women, mentality where it's like you can't trust the other women around you because they're going to steal your man, or they're going to steal your job, or they're going to steal something, right? Right? They're going to steal something. But point being is that when I first was able to get into a women's circle that was completely and actually supportive and didn't have a political agenda, that's a huge thing too. Didn't have a political agenda, didn't have a spiritual agenda one way or the other, but was actually just an open, sacred space to witness other women, to be witnessed, to share, to, cry, to learn to be vulnerable, and that to be okay was a huge breaking point for me in my life. So having all of you come to me in your messages and having these wonderful suggestions that you gave to me, I decided that in July I'm going to be hosting the Redesign Your Life's first ever virtual online women's circle. Yes, April says, thank you for helping me laugh. I love it. And I love making you laugh. I tell you, humor is one of the best medicines. So, summer sessions of a virtual women's circle. It is going to be super awesome. It's all going to be hosted online, and it's going to be a very small class size because I want to be able to witness and interact with and have everybody feel heard and feel seen if they want to be seen, if they want to be heard, or if they want to be able to just sit back and watch and take it in. I want to have a nice small enough size to where we can do that and we can accomplish that. So that is going to be coming up for the month of July. So it's going to be the entire month of July, all 5 Mondays of July. So it's going to be 5 sessions for you. Super excited about that. It's going to be Monday evenings at 8 p.m. About between 1 to 2 hours, depending on how long we go. And it's only going to be $25. $25 for 5 sessions of the virtual women's circle, where you will have direct exclusive access to me one-on-one, where you're not actually commenting to me while I'm talking to you live, but you are actually talking to me live and to your fellow sisters. So amazing. Again, I cannot stress how powerful of a tool that connecting souls from across the globe that are unified with a common desire to learn and explore. I cannot tell you how powerful that is. And I really, really want to share that with you. So I think that would be a perfect bridge to start with between where so many of you are and where you want to start to go. So I'm going to be hosting this all of July. The signups are going to be open soon. I actually have my tech team working on it right now. She is building the website. She is building the web page with all of the info on it, where you'll be able to sign up. All of that PayPal stuff, good stuff, yada, 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 is all getting set up right now. So summer sessions, women's circle, super excited. We're gonna offer a safe space for women, and again, anyone who also identifies as female, to connect, heal, learn from each other, to be seen, to be heard, understood, witnessed. Just the power of being witnessed. I can't even tell you. Like, it is so undescribable. The power of having an epiphany live in the moment and being witnessed by a group of women that are there, that are all like no judgment. They're all there to heal and connect and to learn and to share. It's like the most insane, like I'm getting goosebumps and tinglies right now actually just thinking about it. So excited. So that is going to be coming your way, because we are not meant to do this alone, and I am always looking for better ways to serve you that honors your time, that honors my time, that honors your checkbook, that honors my, like, everything, that honors everybody. So, Women's Circle coming up, going to be hosting that in July. All of the information is going to be coming your way soon. I wasn't going to mention it yet, but since Miss April, you said working in circles, and I was like, we're going to be working in circles! So that is, I couldn't wait. So that is going to be coming up for you. More information on that is going to be coming to you soon. So I hope to see a whole bunch of you there. I know it's going to be absolutely fabulous. We're going to go over all kinds of things. Just to share with you really briefly, each week in the sessions we're going to come together for a new focus, a new topic, I'm going to be pulling cards for the group individually, like I should say exclusively for the Women's Circle as like an upcoming forecast for the week. An energetic alignment, because I am also getting my Reiki certification right now. Super exciting. So an energetic alignment as well for everybody that comes in to the Women's Circle, and just to chat and open and have a place where we can talk about and share how to make the most of what is going on around you. So I could go on and on and on. I mean, like things we'll talk about, healing, again, energy work, rituals, lifestyle. I'm just going through my notes really quick. All of these things. I could keep going on about it forever and ever and ever, but I have to go. To a session with a client right now. So thank you so much for hanging out with me on this Wisdom Wednesdays. Thank you, April, for hanging out with me, my love. Good to see you as always. So happy to have you with me tonight. Thank you for everybody that watches this after. Thank you. Keep your eyes open for information for the Women's Circle. Thank you, April. You are the best. She says you are the best. You are the best. You all are the best. If it wasn't for you all here, I wouldn't be able to be doing what I'm doing, sharing this with you. So it is definitely a synergistic, energetic exchange. So thank you all. This has been a fantastic night. I have enjoyed sharing this with you. Very excited for the upcoming stuff here at ReDYLF. Stay tuned for all the new awesome stuff that's coming your way. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. And I love you all. Thank you so much. Mwah!